This guy calls himself Mr. X. He is giving his response to the Pro Male Collective Manifesto. Let's hear what he has to say.
All right. So I was gonna do a react to that Shelby video, but I watched like a minute of it and I was like, no, no. This is a waste of time. Like she's literally just like sitting there reading some bullshit she wrote or some Reddit post. Fuck if I know.
Is this the one where she was calling men dangerous? Then, if that was the case, Mr. X, you should be more clear on what the subject matter was. Okay.
It was a waste of time. As I should have known. I mean, God knows, I've already been through like a handful of these women who just like talk like a robot online and obviously don't mean a word they say and they're just grifting pieces of shit.
Good. Thank you. Thank you for admitting that. She is a grifting piece of crap. I agree with that. So
So I
far,
was like, no. And then I went like through the internet and I was looking up some, male shit. I watched.
what do you mean male shit? You're talking about men's rights? So you view your own rights as a human being as shit. Okay. Continue.
I forget what his name the name was. City Crusher or something like that. He's like one of these
Yeah.
male rights guys, like MGTOW-ish kind of guys.
No, no, I'm not MGTOW, dude. I'm not going my own way. You can't go your own way when your rights are stripped from you. Hey, dude, if they decide to conscript you, can you just go your own way? No, Mr. X.
He did his react to a Smell Bees video. And I was like, yeah, I mean, he says shit that I agree with somewhat, but
What do you mean, somewhat? You see, you are showing yourself as a dishonest person right now. Be clear. What do you agree with and what you don't?
he says like all like this typical male rights kind of bullshit, which
Oh, again, so my rights as a human being is bullshit and yours. Then you have zero right to complain when something happens to you. You have zero rights, but I suspect you're going to bitch if something bad happens to yourself.
gets tiring. Um,
It's tiring. Well, you know something, dude? It's tiring to me. And guys like you is what makes it tiring.
so then I found this was a pro male collective board, and I saw this manifesto post, and then okay, I'll just get my thoughts on that, just so I can throw some shit on you.
Dude, you have nothing to say. You're wishy-washy. You want to sit on a fence that doesn't exist. So you have nothing to say, but we'll continue anyway.
YouTube. So let's read this post here by Jessica. I don't know why a woman is posting there, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Maybe she felt like it. It's unimportant.
Let's see. Men are an oppressed underclass. This is an indisputable fact and is not up for debate. I mean, a good thing that I agree, I guess, because men.
Well, what if you disagreed? It isn't up for debate. It either is or it isn't, dude. And since you agree, then you shouldn't be calling this men's right bullshit then. You should be saying it's important stuff. It's important to you.
Absolutely are today. Yeah.
They always have, dude. The white feather campaign where they're handing out white feathers to guys to go get themselves blown up in the war. That was 100 years ago.
I mean, everything women do is right and everything men do is wrong, pretty much. So,
Oh, yeah, that's true. You're right, but you don't have a right to complain about that because you consider standing up for yourself bullshit. Mr. X.
And you can just look at the laws in the U.S. and basically the entire world.
The laws, exactly. Right. So that's unjust. It's not just unfair, it's unjust. And a man of self-respect will fight against injustice.
World now, outside of like shitty like sand nigger countries. Everything is catered towards women, and they have all the laws pretty much.
Right. So men have fewer rights than women, and therefore we need men's rights. It's a good train of logic, isn't it? Or I should say, it's a logical train of thought.
By all the standards of the social sciences, men are disadvantaged compared to women. Men live shorter, harsher, more violent lives. Yeah, yeah. This is something that I
Oh,
saw.
no, not yeah, yeah. It either is or it isn't. Since it is, you simply say, I agree. So you're actually against us, right? Your apathy. You're saying men have fewer rights. I like the status quo. So I'm for it. So you're on their side, not ours.
City Crusher always brings up is like whenever a woman mentions the patriarchy, he has to bring up, men are the ones that fought in wars and had to fight in wars and get killed.
No, don't use that condescending attitude, you little do nothing. Because that is the go-to. That's the most extreme. That's a fact, right? So of course I'm going to use that each and every time.
Right? Yeah, I mean, fair enough, but then like you just don't understand.
Fair enough. Good. Then what's your problem, dude?
You don't like know the definition of patriarchy.
Shut up, you feminist. I got your number now. Patriarchy doesn't exist. Hey, there's Mr. X. There's a definition for leprechaun, but leprechauns don't exist. So you believe in a feminist concept and you're pushing it. So that makes you a feminist. You'll deny it, but that's what you support.
Pretty much. But yeah, I agree with the general point. Women have far
No, you don't. No, you don't, dude. You say the patriarchy's real, so you don't agree with it.
more rights than men. No amount of gaslighting by feminists can deflect from this fact. I mean, rights? Yeah.
Yes, rights. Conscription, for example, is slavery. Men aren't just joining. Look what's happening in Ukraine. The women are actually allowed to leave the country for their own safety. And the young men, being scooped up, knowing that they are going to meet their death in a war they cannot win. That's a fact.
I mean, I don't know if that's really true. I mean,
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You know it's exactly true.
like, by rights, I mean, things we're allowed to do.
And also, dude, how about circumcision, right? Hey, nothing says a lack of rights as being cut when you're a baby and you can't even give your permission.
I don't know if that's exactly true, but yeah, I mean,
It is exactly true, and I know it. For you to suggest otherwise, you're either too ignorant to talk on this topic and you should keep your mouth shut, or you're against us. I think you're against us.
society is more lenient towards women, and like the laws are blatantly sided towards women. So I mean,
If the laws are blatantly cited for women, that shows you what we're saying is 100% true. And that is not a patriarchy, dude. Mr. X, in a patriarchy, the laws would be one-sided to our gender. That's how I know it doesn't exist.
I generally agree with that point. Men suffer from false consciousness, have no affinity in a group, and worse yet, harbor an innate hostility towards one another that perpetually cements them within their underclass position. Yeah, true. But like, what are you gonna do about it?
You're going to self-correct. That's what you're going to do about it. You become aware of the problem and you self-correct. You know, when you put your hand in the fire mix, Mr. X, and it burns your hand, you go, oh, I won't do that again. You know that old joke where the guy goes to the doctor and says, Doc, it hurts when I do this, and Doc says, don't do that.
Men want to fuck. Men want to.
So, so if you want to bang, why would you cut a baby with circumcision? Is that getting you laid, Mr. X?
Fuck, and men will throw each other under the bus to in order to get pussy. That's how it always is. That's how it's always going to be.
No, it's only going to be for guys like you, for guys like you who support it, who pretend you don't, but you do. The evolved man is going to leave you behind, just like Cro-Magnon left the Neanderthals.
So what are you going to do?
Well, we are fighting for our rights. That's what we're going to do. And we're spreading awareness. And you know something? The younger generation, thank God, is changing. They're not stuck like you. They're not a dinosaur like you, Mr. X. You know that young woman, Jessica, you're talking about? She told me their young men in China are actually refusing to get married. I said, "No, you must be kidding." She said, "No, that's true." The younger generation is evolving. It's just sad to me to see guys my age, well, you look younger than me actually, refuse to evolve. But is it a lack of evolving, or is it just that you are actually a male feminist, really? You support the status quo.
And unfortunately, men always have to be in competition with each other. I mean, I
No, we don't have to be. We can make that choice, dude. What? How does a man stop himself from shoplifting? He says, "This is going to cause me harm. It's wrong on a moral and legal level. I'm not going to do it." That's how it's done.
I try avoiding that as much as I can because it's pointless. But I mean, it's just inevitable when you're chasing women. So what are you going to do?
Well, you stop chasing women, dude. That's it. You accept. Dude, most guys don't get women with women anyway. Men are being massively, like deselective on a massive scale now. It's not like you have a choice. So you're going to harm your fellow man just to get rejected anyway? I mean, Mr. X, how can you be such a loser?
Men also possess a nigh irrational love and adoration for women and have been proven to have an outgroup bias, i.e., men like women more than they like their fellow men. Yeah, yes. I mean, yes.
Okay, so just say yes. Like, what's with all this, like, halfway shit attitude? Is either true or it's not. If you don't believe it's true, say so.
That
This is the kind of guy that actually is the reason men's rights have been flailing for 50 years. Boat anchors. That's what you are, Mr. X. You're a boat anchor.
lead them to incessant pandering to women at the expense of their and other men's well-being. I mean, yeah, simping's a major problem. I wish men would stop.
Well, you say, what are you going to do? Right?
I don't know. I hate simps. And unfortunately, the vast majority of the people who watch my channel are simps. And I hate them. And then I leave YouTube because I don't want to listen to them and I don't want to be around them.
Well, how are you really any different from them? When you consider something as important as your own personal rights as men's shit, I don't see how you're any different to them. Dude, you supported the idea of the fake patriarchy. How is that not simping? Man, we're only 5 minutes in. This guy's got 25 more to go.
I don't know. Everything sucks. It's all pointless, isn't it?
Really, what's funny? The civil rights movement succeeded because they didn't go, wow, we got crosses burning on our lawns. Life sucks. What are you going to do? Right?
These factors contribute to men being a disorganized, segmented, marginalized group that are unable to rectify their oppressive social conditions, assuming they bother to even acknowledge the existence of them in the first place. Well, I mean, yeah, and most men. Well, the thing is, like, most men aren't going to admit it because it's social suicide. If you're a man and you admit any of this shit to women, you're automatically excluded from society and you're an outcast.
Well, that's why male solidarity is something that we have to bring to light to other men, right? And encourage. Step number one.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's true. I mean, it's partly why men are, marginalized and like we've lost value. It's part of it. But what the hell
We never had any, dude. We never had any.
are men supposed to do?
Show some solidarity, look at how things are, and say, okay, we got to do something about that. Then we take action. Pretty simple.
The reality is that everyone wants to fuck. And
Dude, how come there are sexless marriages then? Mr. X, how come there's sexless marriages then? I mean, all those guys who get married and the wife turns the sex off, why did they bother getting married? Why don't they just leave or divorce? Can you answer that?
if you're in a guy and you're not an attractive guy, nobody wants to fuck you. So you like, what are you supposed to do?
Good looking guys might get laid. That doesn't help them out. That doesn't make them respected. Look at these good looking celebs like Brad Pitt and Kevin Costner, how their wives treat them like garbage. Getting laid doesn't mean anything, Mr. X.
Okay, like, and the thing is, like, if men even group together, like, what the hell is what is that going to accomplish?
Well, we perform activism. That's what it does. Oh, how did the civil rights do it? They succeeded, so something can be done, right?
If you're a guy and you have no value, like, nobody's going to listen to you. Nobody cares. Again, like, nobody respects me because I'm an ugly dude. I mean, if I was, attractive, if I was like a male model, if
They don't respect you because you're male, period. It has nothing to do with your looks, dude.
I was like a Henry Cavill or something, everyone want to listen to me and everyone want to agree with me.
Henry Cavill doesn't have any more rights than you and I. If they brought conscription back, like they've done in Finland and Ukraine, how is Henry Cavill's good looks going to, defend him? How's it going to protect him?
So, like,
If Henry Cavill's, if he gets married and he gets divorced and now he has to pay tons of child support, more than he can afford, how's his good looks going to defeat that? Mr. X, there are guys living in their cars because the judge made them pay more alimony than they actually make, than they actually earn. Don't you think we could start there? And again, how would good-looking men survive that? Does the law give like a good-looking man pass?
What are you supposed to do? So I mean, we're just supposed men are just supposed to be a group. Okay, cool. Like, how am I going to get a bunch of men to follow me? The only way men can be a group is if some attractive man like starts some bullshit.
What do you mean bullshit? Why are you calling something important bullshit? See, this is why I'm calling you out, dude. You are not what you are pretending to be. You are no different than that Shelby woman. You're your own grifter. Now, I put a YouTube channel out about men's rights, and my sub count is slowly growing, and I'm getting a following. If you're not interested in men's rights, then leave it alone. Keep your mouth shut. I don't need some dude who believes in patriarchy and leprechauns.
Start some group, and but the problem with that is like, how does that always manifest? It's like some fucking red pill grifter, attractive red pill grifter, and he starts his cult where he just leeches money from the unsuspecting idiots.
Well, that does happen, okay? But the pro male collective, we're not red pillars and we're not grifters. So we're the beginning of something good, okay?
That's generally how it happens. Because again, if you're an attractive guy, you don't need to deal with any of this shit.
You're into lookism. We're actually, the pro male collective is against lookism, dude. We're not black pillars or red pillars. Right. You're into that debunked lookism shit.
Because you go and you have lots of sex with women, or you're one of the lucky ones that has a good woman in his life. You don't worry about any of this shit. And if you're not that attractive,
What do you mean a good woman in your life? You mean a woman who may not exercise her greater rights over you? That's what you want? You want to get together with someone who has power over you. That's brilliant. Okay.
guy, nobody listens to you. So
Oh, by the way, Mr. X, all you have to do is become somebody. You don't have to be good looking. You just have to have wealth and money. All kinds of hideous, famous celebrities got laid.
I don't know. It's all pointless. Again, I understand the philosophy here is like
Oh.
men need to group together so we can fight against all this other bullshit like other groups have done, like women.
Not bullshit, hatred of men. Again, you were too cowardly to make a stand. That's why nothing can be concrete with you.
Have with feminism, like niggers will supposedly have, although that's more of a Jewish thing. But I understand the rhetoric here, but I don't know. Again, if you're not an attractive guy, nobody's going to listen to you. That's just the bottom line. Meanwhile,
Nonsense. If we had Danny DeVito decide to become like our head, our spokesman, people would listen to him because he's a famous guy.
women are a highly organized upper class group in which feminism aimed to further push the rule they have over men through the orchestration of political campaigns and false narratives that aim to disparage, gaslight, and demonize the male party. I would kind of disagree that they're highly organized.
They're very organized, dude. You don't know what you're talking about. Johnny Depp, remember? He was falsely accused by Amber Heard. 130 feminist I'm going to call it wrong. Organizations jumped right at it and supported her. They're highly organized. You don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, the thing is, women are always just going to do what the group wants, because women don't have thoughts on their own. Women don't have strong beliefs in anything.
No, you're wrong, dude. Women are very male hostile, and there are women who have very strong opinions in how to harm men, and they work together very well.
They're just going to do what the powers that be say.
Feminists, they got struck down a law that was going to, well, it was, I can't remember if it's called a law or a referendum. I have to look back to one of the other guys' videos, but they were going to have shared parenting. And the feminist group in that particular state lobbied and got it shut down. They're very organized, they're very clear on what they want, and they go for it and they get it done.
I wouldn't say that they're highly organized. It's just that women are manipulators and they're easily manipulated. That's the difference.
If they were easily manipulated, then there wouldn't be a gender divide. Men would just manipulate women to being on our side.
And yeah, I mean, it's an orchestration of political campaigns and false narratives. Absolutely, but I don't think it's really women that are doing that. It's Jews.
What?
It's, the
So Jewish men are orchestrating something to harm their own rights as people. What's there to gain for the average Jewish man? So a Jewish man, his wife can divorce him and make him pay child support and alimony. That is some conspiracy bullshit right there.
people that push the narrative of the country, and it's not really women. I mean, it ends up being women in the end because women, if you have a capitalist society which is based on, consumerism and buying a bunch of useless shit, well, then women are going to thrive because women are the ones that buy useless shit.
Well, there you go. And you said guys simp for women. And that's why the Marxists have never gained any real traction. Because women LARP as Marxist, but they are never Marxist. You're really back and forth. You contradict yourselves all the time. Women don't do it, but they do it.
And the powers that be are going to cater to them, and that's how it works. This is kind of like,
So if the powers that be cater to women, then women are in charge. They're the ones that make the rules. Thank you for admitting that. Then why are you blaming the Jews?
capitalism is a failure, but that's another topic. Yeah, but the bottom line is that women are more willing to mindlessly agree with the Jewish powers that be.
Okay, so you're an anti-Semite, right? This is another thing, Mr. X. This is why the pro-male collective keeps out racist as well as misandrist. We keep out racist and anti-Semites. We don't allow them to thrive in our spaces. They're anti-male.
And men don't as much. So, yeah. And the only time men do is when men want to get money. And the reason why men want money is to please women. It all just kind of goes round and round. The end goal, full systematic
Then it wouldn't again be a patriarchy, would it?
subjugation of the male population through legalized violence of government parties worldwide. Legalized violence? That's a little excessive.
Hey, it's true though. I mean, the White Feather campaign was violent, shipping men off to die.
Women have full spectrums of social authority over the male underclass, and no group has had as much political, social, and cultural dominion over another group of people in the course of human history. Well, I'm not really a history major, but sure.
I noticed that.
I don't know how true that is, but okay. I mean, I suspect that there's probably been times in history, where people have been like genocided and like made to be slaves.
I have a video talking about Sparta, ancient Sparta, where the Spartan men were complete slaves to their women. What's that? 2,000 years ago? 3,000 years ago? Somewhere in that ballpark, but millennia.
And such. I don't think it's quite that bad for men today, but yeah, I get the sentiment. The current men's rights movement, i.e., men's rights, is basically dead. A novel could be written on the old that the old feminist communities repeatedly make. Most people in men's rights deep spaces still believe in feminist concepts and consider the complete rejection of feminist ideas to be radical and extremist.
He just described you. You believe in the feminist concept of patriarchy, and you will consider us pointing it out that it is a lie as extreme.
Well, it's radical and extremist because it's not realistic.
So the truth is not realistic.
I mean, how do you plan on ending this feminist bullshit? I mean, it's been in place for many decades now.
Well, dude, it's been placed forever, right?
I mean, it was fully entrenched when I was in school in the 1990s.
Yeah, it was entrenched even further back than that, dude. Second wave was 1960s. First wave was early 1900s, late 1800s.
And it starts, and these people are radicalized at a very young age. So I mean, I don't.
So they can be radicalized at an early age, but we men can't de-radicalize young guys at an early age. Why not?
I mean, like the complete rejection of. I think most men really don't agree with this feminist shit that's happening. But what do you do? And at some level, you just have to go along with it.
No, no, you don't. I don't.
But again, that's why I never really get in. Again, like the main reason I just don't really get involved in men's rights shits because I don't believe men really give a shit about other men.
Well, you're a good example of that. And by the way, if this is the way you feel, don't comment on us, dude. You have nothing positive to add. If you say, "Oh, all I've got is defeatism," then you've got nothing, and we don't want to hear from you. You have no opinion to put forward.
And like, what can we do? Because again, if you're a low value man, nobody's going to listen to you. The only men they're going to get listened to are the really attractive ones or in the really powerful.
I didn't listen to this before, guys, so I don't know how far I should be going. Like it's not even reached its halfway point. This guy's repeating himself.
Powerful ones, which tend to be the really attractive ones. And again, when you get into terms like radical and extremist, like that's just what is and what isn't socially acceptable. Like,
So what? So what? The civil rights movement probably wasn't acceptable when it first came out.
yeah, whatever. Many men's rights activists, MRAs, are appeasers, cowards, and solids, about as outright traitors to the male sex, since they undermine their own cause constantly. Current MRA spaces are full of constant concern trolling over MRA radicalism, while the enablement of feminist misandrists flourish. And yes, most MRAs are tradcon feminist hybrids. Okay, I'm kind of getting lost into their language here.
Yeah. Well, tradcon means traditional conservative, the right-wing male, who actually, like you, believes in feminist concepts, right? They like the status quo. They love a dog eat dog world. They just want women to appreciate them while they slave away.
This cock blocking behavior crushes the spirit of most male minded men as they are banned, blocked, shunned, ignored, invalidated, and gaslighted from the space. These MRA spaces are also invaded by racist realities who will validate feminist rhetoric. If
That's you, by the way, dude, right? By racist reactionaries who validate feminist rhetoric, like the patriarchy.
directed toward an alien outgroup of themselves, i.e., immigrants entering the country and raping and trafficking women. Okay, so I mean, what you're basically saying is you want to get the racist out of your male collective group here because you think that they're divisive.
They are
I
divisive.
guess. I don't know.
Well, they're more, they're, hey, there's no guessing. I'll let you know. They're not just divisive, they are boat anchors because they want to take away from men's rights and steer men's rights into their own pet obsessions, like immigrants.
Yeah, the old MRM is stale and worthless. Men need to create a true alternative to it. Men need to create a pro male subculture, and they need to secure that subculture for the sake of having one. As a pro male subculture is worth having for its own sake.
Perfectly said. Thank you, Jessica.
Okay. The pro male subculture needs to promote a pro male ideology based on a foundation of evidence, logic. Okay. I mean, every group says that. That's what incels say. That's what black pillars say. They all think they have the logic on their side. The only ones that really never do are women, and then everyone listens to women, and like the dopey red pillars.
Well, it's pretty easy to see if we have logic on our side, though. When I say something, you could see if it's logical. What?
The pro male subculture must encourage a healthy mindset in men, one based on self respect, compassion, and care for their fellow man. Okay, again, who are you kidding? None of you do that. None of you really have compassion or care for your fellow man. You're
Really, I don't have any compassion for my fellow man. Prove it.
trying to destroy your fellow man so you can get pussy. And the thing is, every guy here that's saying this kind of bullshit, you would throw all of this shit under the bus if you met a
Dude, I don't monetize my channel. I'm not getting paid for this.
good woman in your life. You've met a good woman you can trust. The difference is that you pretty much know that's impossible. It's impossible to find that woman. A lot of you
Dude, women are motivated by violence and wealth. All you have to do is look at their fantasies that they read.
are probably older and you've had more these experiences with women, or you know that's just not going to happen. That's really the difference. Only a healthy pro-social subculture can fight back against feminists and tradcon control over the levels of power in society. Well, what do you determine a healthy pro-social subculture? But what
Healthy, it means we're not cutting each other up to pander to women. Really? It's pretty simple, right?
what that really means is you need the attractive rich men on your side that people will listen to. That's what you really mean here. And that's not going to happen.
No. Healthy pro-social subculture means we need celebrities, male celebrities. It'd be great if we had one for sure. It'd be a big boost. But that is not a healthy pro-social subculture. It's one where men aren't hostile to one another.
Real world activism is not going to work or if men are unable to organize correctly in the online world. And if you think organizing in the online world is a waste of time, let's look at how rapidly feminism changed the world's legal systems and dismantled due press for women by starting online with the Me Too hashtag movement. Yeah, but again,
No, no, that he made a good point. It's either true or it's not.
okay, but like, why do
Yeah,
people want to listen to these Me Too actresses? Because they're attractive and people want to fuck them.
dude, guys want to bang all kinds of women. Again, men will enter marriages even when the sex gets turned off. Men's pandering to women is deeply psychological. It's not about getting laid.
That's really what it is.
If you're not an incel or a black pillar, how come you think like them?
I really don't think anyone really takes that shit seriously. But again, who are the majority of society people going to side with? You know, the fat ugly Jew like Harvey Weinstein, or like the poor.
Weinstein got laid, dude. He got all the girls. He's like say he was ugly and he was fat, but he got laid because he had status, he had fame and fortune, and he had the reins of power.
Attractive the actresses he was like using to like come on their feet and shit. They're gonna listen to the women. They're always gonna side with the women because they want to fuck them, and it's all about sex. One, men need to have the correct mindset. Most male spaces either obsessively spam out narratives based on male hostility, such as racism, left versus right party politics, or attacking on masculine men, or ran on about women from a dating perspective. If they are not talking about those subjects, then men lose interest in these spaces, die off. True.
Yeah, okay.
But I mean, again, basically every like male community I've ever been a part of is either one, there's just guys desperately trying to fuck, or two, you have the high IQ, quote unquote high IQ moggers that like just have to go on and on about intelligence and their stupid coping. All of it's a waste of time.
Well, that's why we made a space where we don't waste time.
But I mean, so you want the correct mindset to be is that you want this to be a group of men that all just like side with each other. That's okay, cool.
Well, it's worked so far. We colored all the bad guys, all the bad actors, and that's what we've got, Mr. X.
hopes and dreams if you think that's really going to happen.
It already has happened. You know something? And we go online and we get the hashtag kill all men taken down off of X. We just report it and it goes down. We've proven it.
Men need to be proactive. They must strive to propagate pro-male ideas as much as possible outside their own spaces. If men are just hiding in safe spaces, their ideas will not spread. Anti-male narratives are pushed by an AI algorithm-driven internet and spammed out by misandrists obsessively. Men must push back as possible to counteract this. Men must be proactive in the correct way, be efficient and strategical. Okay, so be the opposite of this channel where I just like rant and say a bunch of hate speech and stuff. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
But like, I would much rather hide in safe spaces and live my life and like not put myself into like crazy bullshit for what?
Well, it's not crazy bullshit. Fighting for your rights is crazy bullshit. So I notice you do this the whole video. Something that's important that's actually of high quality, you call bullshit because you don't want to come right out and say, "Look, I'm a loser who doesn't want to attach himself. I'm too cowardly to attach myself to something that is of quality." Right? You don't want to admit that you're a loser.
I mean, propagate preliminary ideas again. Who the fuck is going to listen to you? Like,
People listen to me all the time, dude. I'm getting all kinds of guys in the comment section. I get, of course, guys that are defeatist like you, and I get guys who hate my guts. But I also got a lot of guys cheering me on. These people don't hear our voices. That's why we put our voices out there. And it does attract guys.
why would they? Nobody's
Well, they have.
going to. Men not only need to be proactive, they must be coordinated in their approach, using teamwork to signal boost each other. Okay, again, good luck doing any of that.
It's not luck, dude. We are doing it. You're just not in our space. We wouldn't have a defeatist like you wasting time, taking up space, right?
Your shit doesn't get views. Nobody cares.
Then how did you find out about me and the Pro Male Collective? People are noticing us, Mr. X.
You got to get attractive men to side with you because sex and looks are everything. Pro male men must set up their own online pop culture spaces and gatekeep them. They must do this to encourage a healthy pro male mindset within them and to gatekeep feminists out. Okay, sure, but
Yeah.
then nobody's going to listen to you.
So someone's going to listen to us if we get feminists in that destroy our group? That makes sense.
What guy wants to just join some fucking sausage party? The only ones that do, again, are like the guys that go on about high Q and politics and all this shit. And they're just wasting
Well, actually, young guys who see what's coming their way and they want to live in a better world.
time. If you want to waste time doing that, go nuts, but nobody's going to care. Pro male activism can't just
If no one cares, then why are you making this response?
be theory crafting. It has to offer real world benefits to men. Yeah, like fucking women and creating families. Having hobby spaces that aren't polluted by hostile, geeky men. Oh, okay. So what you're saying is you don't want the ugly guys, but you're
No, we don't want the hostile guys. We found out through harsh experience that the geeky guys that we thought would really appreciate us end up being hostile to one another as well. So they're no good for our movement.
little group here can't say that because if you do, you're gonna outcast like 90% of your fucking group. See, this is
Well, we have to cull out 90% of guys because they're like you. They're dead wood.
this is what okay. You just outed your bullshit. You don't want the hostile, geeky, i.e., ugly men.
No, we don't want hostile guys. We have geeky guys in our space, but they're pro-male. Again, Mr. X, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just embarrassing yourself. Stick to other things that you don't know.
Because you know nobody's going to listen to them. It's like that City Crusher guy. He has. I read his comments and in damn near every video, someone will go on about looks, and then he's going to say like, "Well, it's not looks, right? I know it's not looks because
I don't sound like that, buddy. My voice is deeper than yours. And it isn't about looks. If you're into lookism, you're an incel, dude. Mr. X, you're a black pill lookism guy, and you're dead weight to a men's rights movement.
The midget from Game of Thrones has a hot wife.
Yeah, he did. How do you square that? Let's hear your deep logic.
Just coping that he's not, an old ugly fuck like I am, and that nobody's really gonna.
I'm not coping about anything. I'm not. I'm not worried about getting a partner. Yeah, I am old. What does that got to do with anything? You're the one who is fixated on getting a partner, dude. I want to protect my rights as a human being.
Listen to him. That's why the dude makes videos every fucking day and he has like 1,000 subs because nobody cares because he's ugly.
I have a few subs because the YouTube algorithm keeps men's rights down. And also, most guys are like you. It's not because I'm unattractive, it's because you were male hostile and you like the status quo, even though you suffer from it.
But he doesn't want to say that. He doesn't want to admit that. I can.
I can admit I'm an average looking guy. I wouldn't consider myself ugly. I'm a pretty typical looking guy, and I'm old. It's very easy for me to admit that. But again, you're the one looking for a partner, not me.
Admit that. But then that makes me, the goofy guy. So what fucking ever? Because none of it really matters because looks are everything. If you don't have them, I mean, it's just all a waste of time.
Yeah, you're an incel. Yeah.
This is all a waste of time. This entire channel is. This is why I don't even make fucking videos.
Dude, your video is a waste of time.
Because this is really just a waste of time. None of it matters because I don't have a chiseled jaw and a 12-inch cocaine dong. We must avoid becoming a self-marginalizing subculture. To that end, we must avoid cult-like behavior and avoid using wacky terminology. Black pill, red pill, manosphere language, and rhetoric must be avoided. Okay, true. You got that. It's just ridiculous that terms like oofy doofy become normal to us. It's so stupid.
Well, you used it.
You got a point. But then again, I mean, if you look at like any of these online groups, and you want to avoid cult-like behavior, but you are a cult.
How are we a cult? So was the civil rights movement a cult?
You are a cult.
How?
So, like you can't have it both ways here.
What are you talking about, dude? You made an assertion. We're a cult. How are we a cult? Where's your evidence? So every group is a cult? Is the Boy Scouts a cult because they formed a group?
And even look at that one paragraph. It was earlier there. You're saying a bunch of shit that like anyone outside of your group is not going to understand. So,
like what? Again, notice when someone's against us, one of the strategies is never to be clear.
it comes with the territory here. We are the normal ones. Our set of ethics are human, rational, and not consistent. No, you're not the normal ones.
Yeah, we are normal. Yeah, like I didn't blame the Jews for women's behavior, for example, like you did.
If you were the normal ones, the majority of you ugly guys, you would have settled with your wife that uses you as beta bucks, that just uses you as an ATM, and you'd bury.
Really? Use an ATM. So you're admitting that it's not about sex then? Because if the average guy got married and he's just being used by his wife, then he's not getting any sex, is he? So It's deeper than just sex, right? I'm going to confess something to you. If I probably would have got married if I wasn't deselected, I can admit that, unlike you, Mr. X. But now I can honestly say I wouldn't, knowing what I know. Now that I see how men are viewed by women, I would never get married.
Yourself in debt for her and you shut the fuck up and you just be a wage slave until you die. That would be being the normal ones. You refuse to do that, so now you are abnormal.
So being normal is being slave-minded. Okay, I'll be the evolved mutant then, gladly. Hey, I bet the Cro-Magnons were evolved mutants too at one time, but they left the Neanderthals behind,
You and yet
and they became the norm.
you're as abnormal as I am, but you don't want to admit it.
No, 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 dude. You are a normal guy. You're a normal, woman pandering, deselected, defeatist man. That's what you are. You're completely normal.
That's really what it is. And that includes most of you faggots in my chat who are probably spamming a bunch of dumbass shit. We must strive to make a good impression of ourselves, and optics do count for us. Well, you think that. As people are.
No, no, we know it. Optics do matter for men. Women can get away with acting out and acting badly. People just forgive them, right? But for us, we can't. We've got to keep our, I's dotted and our T's crossed.
Ready to dismiss us out of hand, so we can't give them the slightest excuse. Okay, sorry,
Yeah, like you, dude, that you're dismissing us out of hand.
buddy. Reality check. They dismiss you from day one. They dismissed you before you even said a word.
There you go. Dismiss us out of hand, right? But we can't give them an excuse. Mr. X, we can't give them an excuse. If they dismiss us, they got to be like you and do it for no rational reason.
They dismiss you within a millisecond of seeing you. They dismiss you. They even know you're a part of this community. You are automatically dismissed because you're not the good little loser being beta bucks for your little wife. That's what's normal. You're not normal. I'm
So you're happy being a loser. Okay.
sorry. Your little community here is never going to be normal and accepted. And the only way that's going to happen, we're just go around in circles here. What is the only, think of a scenario that will give these men value. Society needs to go back to where looks were.
No, 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 dude. Men have to see ourselves as valuable to begin with. Men are valuable. Men is more valuable than women because society is upheld by men and run by men. We are the valuable people.
The only thing, and people weren't just having endless, casual sex and happy fun times. We need to go back to basically war times where, there was value in men.
So you want men to die. So you're the tradcon that you were reading about earlier. So how is that gaining value if we're disposable, if we're just thrown out to die in war? How is that valuable?
Defending women and defending society. That's basically the only times that, in any recent history, that men had value was when they were the ones being willing to be killed in senseless wars.
But this isn't about value, is it? This is how people perceive men, and that's what has to be and can be altered. Because I've had guys come to my channel and say, I'm glad I found you and the Pro Male Collective. I've had guys say that. How many guys have said that about you, Mr. X?
and die at early ages. It was the only time they had that. And then if you bring that up to these people, well, they just, oh, well, that's why the patriarchy doesn't exist, because we were forced to, fight in pointless wars.
Exactly. It doesn't exist. A patriarchy, the women would go to war and the men would stay at home nice and safe.
So it just circles around and round and round and round.
No, no, that's not a circle. That's a linear train of thought. It's a logical conclusion from point A to point B. It's only circular to you because you don't want to agree with it, even though it is logical
But at
and
the end of the
true.
day, like you and we don't have value. We are a vanguard ideology. What does that mean? Just like group? We're
Vanguard is the guys up front, right?
a solid group. Okay, sure. And will remain until and will remain so until you can wake enough men up. Okay. So you're a cult. You're a
So
cult.
we're a cult just because we're a vanguard movement or we're a small group? How are we a cult again? Again, you're not on the fence, dude. You're so cowardly you want to be on the fence, but you're on the opposing side.
Cult. Just say you're a cult. Well, we want to grow. We can't have bad growth, or we will be sucked into black pill manosphere kookiness. Yeah, because eventually you're going to realize that sex is everything.
Yeah, you're part of a cult, dude. You're part of the incel black pill cult, the lookism crowd.
And you can't avoid it.
I've avoided it.
Sorry. Hey, and the thing is, like, you will be sucked back into black pill manosphere kookiness. No guy wants to be black pilled. None of us want to be that way.
I thought you didn't use those terms, black pilled. I know there are guys who are black pillars, right? But supposedly you don't use that ideology or those terms, I should say. Right?
So, but it is what it is. Sex is everything. Looks are everything. You can't avoid it. Sorry. We can't have affinity, sex for affinity, so we need.
Then how come you have so many rich, ugly old men? How come Stephen Hawking, who is hideous and crippled, how come he got remarried to a decent looking woman?
Pro male affinity for. Okay. We can't tolerate having bad, hostile, anti male men in our spaces, and they're a bigger danger to us than the feminists. We
That'd be you, Mr. X.
accept all men who are genuinely pro male, and we reject all men who are not.
Yep.
Okay, sure.
Yep, that's
Put
exactly.
your money where your mouth is when you actually find some woman who's willing to put up with your shit. And let's see where you're going to do then. Just like every man I've.
So women tolerate men, even though women are the ones that cause all the issues. You really are slave minded. You are self loathing, dude. Mr. X, you are self loathing. Women don't put up with men's shit. They're the ones who put shit onto men.
Ever known in my goddamn life, how they just completely changed once the pussy told them to do it.
Right.
I highly doubt you guys are any different.
We are different. Here I am.
Strongman posturing and coping behavior must be discouraged. Strongman posturing is based on a delusional understanding of reality and is coping behavior. I'm not really sure what strongman posturing is.
It's guys saying, like MGTOW, right? I'm just going to go my own way. That's strongman posturing. They were deselected like you and me, only they're not willing to admit it. That's strongman posturing.
Men do not want to do anything to fix the systematic problems they face, so they have to pretend they are winning. Other types of coping are used just to diffuse rightful anger, which is a motivating factor behind taking action. Well, again, if you want to take action and you want to like risk,
We are taking action, dude.
legal problems and a bunch of other bullshit and being, blacklisted and canceled. I mean, if you want to do that, hey, good luck. I don't. It's not worth it. I'm tired of it.
But dude, you can't be canceled because you don't have anything to cancel. You don't have a career.
We must reject feminism completely and utterly. We must reject the label completely. We must reject the ideology completely. We must reject all excuses given for why feminism was valid in the past, as all of them are based on total lies or half-truths. Okay, that's one thing that we definitely agree on. For example, feminists claim women couldn't vote, but leave out the truth that working class men also couldn't vote. True.
Right.
And men had to sign up for military service to vote. Yes. And women have powers that far outweigh the vote, like control over their husband's properties and finances and control over the children.
So you see now how men have fewer rights than women and always did, and how that needs to be corrected.
I mean, control over the children I was absolutely true.
Yeah.
The properties I'm a little skeptical on that one.
Really? So when the woman divorces a man, she gets half his property, whether she earned it or not. How's that not control?
We are not here to reform or redeem feminism. We are here to abolish it. We must move the Overton window so that it is acceptable to talk about banning and outlawing feminism. I mean, yeah, you can talk about it all you want, but nobody's going to listen to you.
I have people listening to me.
Talking about banning feminism shocks even most MRAs, but in order for the future of the male population to prosper, to gain true equality and first-class citizenry, we must take action as the pro-male collective.
Mhm.
Hey, I mean, good luck. I mean, you want to do all this shit, and you believe in that. Hey, go nuts. But
Dude, we might fail. Mr. X, we might fail, but I'd rather be on this side, holding my head up high. I can look in the mirror. You want to be a defeated nobody? Go ahead. Actually, being a nobody isn't that bad. It's being defeated. It's being self-defeated. If I'm going to be defeated, someone else has to defeat me. But you're self-defeated.
the problem is nobody's going to listen to you. So, yeah.
Hey, by the way, you're not that much of a loser if that is your property. If no, I should say your property, but if that's your apartment, you got your own place, someplace to hang, that's great. A lot of guys don't appreciate it though. They don't have that woman leeching off them. They think they've lost. To me, you've won. You've got your own space and you can do what you like in it.
I mean, I don't question your motives here, pro male collective. I mean, hey, it's good and all, but you're just not facing the reality of the situation. Is that everyone just wants to fuck, and like that's why there's so many simps, and that's why there's.
We face reality, dude. We know we can actually not succeed, but it's worth going for. Just like the civil rights movement, it happened to succeed. They might have failed, but they lived with dignity. That's the important part. Now, I put it to you. How do you want to live your life? With dignity or without it? We'll end it here.